We all remember the Eric Lewis story that unfolded recently. Pretty much, he was an NBA referee who was outed for having a burner account on Twitter. It seemed pretty innocent until you looked closer into his account, and it became a little suspicious as to how much he would hate on the Lakers. And so now, it seemed like he was a biased ref who would ref games in a way where the Lakers would have a harder time winning. And while the NBA was investigating him, he recently turned in his immediate resignation. I made a video about this in more detail, so if you need a refresher, feel free to check that out. But because he turned in his resignation, he made the NBA investigation go away altogether. But I'm curious, how would this NBA investigation have gone if he didn't resign? What would his punishment be, and how severe would it be? So, the NBA has a code of conduct and guidelines for how NBA referees should behave off the court. The league knows that the referees are just humans, and so mistakes are gonna happen, but they are expected to have high ethical standards no matter how they express themselves. And when they make a mistake, they can face disciplinary action just depending on how big of a mistake that it was. The lowest level of punishment would be a suspension. The league can straight up suspend the ref for a number of games if they wish, and this already happened to Eric Lewis. After his whole story came out, he wasn't allowed to ref the NBA Finals. But the thing is, his investigation was still ongoing at the time, so chances are the league would have done more than just suspend him if they found more evidence against him. But obviously, since he retired, they couldn't do much else against him. The league can also fine and reassign a referee to either different games, different levels, or different positions in the league. I'm guessing this means that if whatever they did wasn't too severe, they could be kicked down to be a junior ref for a few games instead of being the main one. And if it is severe enough, they can demote them down to the G League or something for a while. I don't know exactly how a referee's career works, but I'm assuming that they have to work many games in order to qualify to be a playoff ref, and then even more if they want to be a finals ref. And Lewis actually was a qualified finals referee too before all this happened. So if he didn't resign, I think following a suspension, he would have definitely been fined and then sent down to the lower levels again. And then, the most that the league can do if they don't think he's worth even keeping around is to terminate them. Keeping a ref is so much work. With the counseling, education, suspensions, it becomes a whole process. So maybe this is what Eric Lewis would have faced if he did stick around. And maybe that's why he resigned. He probably thought that, hey, let me quit before they investigate me enough and they fire me instead. I don't know much about the types of scenarios, and I don't know what type of mistake would elicit what type of punishment, but what do you think he would have gotten? So far, it looked like he was very much biased against the Lakers. He would shit talk every Lakers fan on Twitter, and he would go at them pretty hard too. If the NBA could tie that with some of his controversial calls on the court, this would make him a biased ref, and this does impact the integrity of the game. So let me know in your opinion what you think his punishment would have been. But that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.